Welcome to Smart Remarks. Come on, take a little walk with me, baby, and tell me, who do you hate?
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
So the far-right descent into madness continued last week when a columnist for Newsmax wrote about how, well, the military might just be thinking about a coup d'etat against Obama. 7 days in October. This on top of the Obama as Hitler or Stalin posters at the Tea Parties. This on top of the guys showing up at Obama's rallies packing heat. It's all part of the same frenzied tapestry, and things have gotten so out of hand in this country that Thomas Friedman in the New York Times this week compared the atmosphere in America to that in Israel in 1995 when Yitzhak Rabin was assassinated. Now, America is indeed a country filled with hate. The thing you got to realize is it's always kind of been that way. Americans have always needed an enemy to focus our attention on, and for a long time it was sort of existential external enemies. You know, we had communism. Prior to that, we had world wars and foreign enemies. Prior to that, we had Indians lurking along the frontier. But we don't really have that sort of thing anymore. The whole terrorism business hasn't worked out as well as some might have wanted it to. You know, most of the 9/11 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia, an ally. We invaded Iraq to get rid of the bad Iraqis and help the good Iraqis. It's also complex. It's also complicated. And now, without a real outside enemy, it's as if we've turned our attention inward to focus on the enemy within. The far left certainly isn't blameless in this. I was watching CNN last night and Bill Bennett said, well, nobody made a big deal when people on the left carried "Kill Bush" signs during anti-war protests. And I thought, dude, what are you talking about? But I looked it up, and you know what? It's true. There were such signs. But as is often the case, the right has kicked things up a notch. Back in 2004, when Move On ran a contest and someone submitted an ad comparing Bush to Hitler, the right was outraged. This was scandalous. But now the president is often compared to Hitler or Stalin or Kim Jong-il. At the conservative Take Back America conference last week, one speaker talked about how people ought to be stocking up on ammo and guns, to much applause. Right-wing columnists write about coups, and guys like Glenn Beck say, hey, I'm not responsible for this. But all the while, they're fanning the flames of hatred and resentment, and they're telling their people that their country has been stolen from them. And when your country's been stolen from you, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stop at mere protest, or will you do anything to take it back? That is where this goes. Glenn Beck knows it. Conservatives in general know it. The country knows it. Conservatism has chosen to ride this tiger, and it's a fearsome beast. The problem is they can't control it. Sooner or later, that tiger's fangs are going to draw blood.
The poll found that 18% of New Jersey conservatives say they are sure that President Obama is the Antichrist. No questions asked.